Hello, Disney enthusiasts. It's Michelle with Disney Uncorked, and today we're discussing, can Disney World still be fun if you don't ride any attractions? Now, this might sound like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet and skipping the food, but hear me out. Lately, I've noticed more and more people online and in line not actually riding anything. Whether it's motion sickness, anxiety, kids too small, grandparents too tall, back pain, knees, vertigo, etc., or just plain disinterest in the intense stuff. People are still planning trips without touching a single ride vehicle. And so the question is, why are they still loving it? Let's start with something Walt Disney himself once said. Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. Now, did he mean the imagination of Imagineers or the imagination of guests who managed to spend 5 days at the parks without once hearing, "Please stow all loose articles in the pouch in front of you"? But trust me, those people exist and they are thriving. A whole group of Disney adults on TikTok who proudly declare that they go to Disney for the vibes. Not for Space Mountain, not for Rise of the Resistance, just vibes. One TikToker even joked, "I've been to Magic Kingdom 11 times and couldn't pick Splash Mountain out of a lineup." R.I.P. Splash, by the way. But is that really so strange? Think about it. Where else can you spend hours walking through immersive themed lands, encounter characters, watch parades, sample globally curated food, and sip cocktails while watching a fireworks show choreographed to an original score without ever stepping foot on a thrill ride? Epcot basically dares you to forget it's a theme park. It's more like a wine walk meets science museum meets international food fair. And honestly, if you skip Test Track, you might avoid a neck cramp and save yourself 85 minutes in a standby line. Over at Animal Kingdom, I've seen guests spend entire afternoons walking the Maharaja Jungle Trek, photographing birds with 12-foot zoom lenses as if they're filming Planet Earth. Kilimanjaro safaris? Technically a ride, yes, but it's basically an air-conditioned field trip. You're allowed to pretend you're not on an attraction if the vehicle smells faintly of hay and giraffe. And then there's the food. Let's be honest, Disney World is quietly becoming one of the most indulgent food destinations in America. You can start the day with a croissant from La Boulangerie, chase it down with a Dole Whip at noon, an espresso martini from Nomad Lounge at 3, and by dinner, you're in a candlelight restaurant overlooking a faux savannah. It's a culinary choose your own adventure with a $10,000 price tag and a toddler screaming at the next table. But still, magic. As one Redditor put it bluntly, Disney is the only place where my wife can shop for mini ears for 2 hours while I drink 3 different types of whiskey in Morocco and nobody judges us. There's something deeply communal about being there, not because of the rides, but because of the atmosphere. You're in a place where the background music is emotionally manipulative in the best way, where even the sidewalk smells like cookies, and where everyone from honeymooners to solo travelers to toddlers and bubble wands is wandering around like they just stepped into a musical theater daydream. Of course, the cynics will say, what's the point of going to a theme park if you're not experiencing the main event? Well, maybe the main event has changed. Gen Z seems to think so. A growing number of young parkgoers treat Disney as content creation fuel. They spend more time shooting reels on Main Street than writing anything. I even saw a tweet that read, "Why ride pirates when I can spend 45 minutes getting the perfect Cinderella castle twirl?" And who can blame them? Disney has built such an intricate, mood board worthy world that it's entirely possible to enjoy it without strapping into something that goes 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. There's also accessibility to consider. More guests than ever are visiting with physical or sensory needs that make traditional rides difficult or impossible. The fact that they can still enjoy character interactions, shows, walk through attractions, and dining experiences without missing the magic. That's huge. Not to mention, with Genie Plus turning standby lines into Hunger Game auditions, skipping rides might actually improve your stress levels. A Facebook commenter summed it up best. I used to run from ride to ride like it was a mission. Then I had a baby, and now I sit on a bench with a Mickey pretzel and I'm somehow happier. It turns out Disney has become one of the only vacation destinations where doing less doesn't feel like you're missing out. You're still surrounded by storytelling. You're still immersed in detail. You're still in the bubble. And if the goal of a vacation is to escape the real world and feel like a kid again, does it matter if it happens with or without a seatbelt and a lap bar? So, what do you think? Is skipping the rides part of the magic or messing with the mouse? I'd love to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments. Until next time, this is Michelle with Disney Uncorked.